speaker. Unfortunately, Zoom doesn't allow us to sing together, but hopefully you'll sing along this evening with us as we seek to find comfort and inspiration on the eve of a historic election. Let's join together in song with the cantor. If you're in gallery view and can see members of our community, raise your hand if you are going to vote tomorrow. Raise your hand if you have already voted. Interesting, most people. Raise your hand if you are volunteering at a polling station, doing a mitzvah. Well, it's good to see everyone here. Let us join together now with the cantor. Let's give us a heart tap as we do on Shabbat, recognizing the comfort of our community as we join together now, adding the Hebrew words. So as we continue to let people into our Zoom room, I just want to say good evening, everyone. It is really good to see you. I know passions are running high in our country. Passions are running high in our community. And so it's good to be together. This is not a partisan evening. Rather, tonight we come as one community, as a Jewish community, as a Temple Beth Elohim. Democrats and Republicans, liberals and conservatives and independents, all together to pray and rededicate ourselves to the health and strength of our democracy. We come together in large numbers this evening, not because This is the harshest time ever in all of human history. We as Jews have experienced far harsher times than this. And we come in large numbers not because America is more polarized than ever, because we all know that only 160 years ago, Americans literally fought Americans, brothers fighting brothers, sisters fighting sisters, not just at the dinner table, but on the battlefields, where over 620,000 people lost their lives. Rather, we come now because our nation is threatened by a growing distrust of our most central institutions. We come worried about the integrity of our elections and our nation's ability to exercise its most basic right to vote. And we're concerned as Jews about the lack of kindness in our society, the growing inability to listen, all qualities that Judaism continually warns us against. And so tonight we come to gain strength and rededicate ourselves to this country's ideals and institutions. For in Judaism, we learn in our Torah that our destination is not simply freedom. We learn this in the story of Passover. It's not just moving from slavery to the desert. Rather, it's in receiving the law to build a just society, to build a society that cares for each other, that heals the sick, that uplifts the downtrodden, that protects the minority, that strives for peace. It is the belief we learn in the Torah that the collective makes us better, that when people are organized by government, of the people, by the people, for the people, we can travel together to a promised land, that our government can move us from what we want to what we ought to want. Good government can inspire us to be the best people that we can be. And so this evening we come to dedicate ourselves to America and democracy, for this is our country. The great Jewish justice Louis Brandeis once said, "The most important political office of all is that of the private citizen." That is us. Tomorrow is an election. That is us. I ask us to vote. Tonight, let's gain inspiration. Let's listen to our ancient wisdom, to the prophet Micah, who continually called us to do justice, to love mercy, and something our country needs right now, to walk humbly with God. And so if you're at home, I invite you to rise as we continue with the Pledge of Allegiance. The flag is behind me. Many of us were raised reciting this every single morning in grammar school. But tonight I ask us to read it slowly, almost meditating on it, not doing it rotely as we too often did during our school days, but considering each word and the importance of this call. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let's all be seated.
So let us continue this evening with an affirmation of our Jewish faith with the words of the Shema.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Elohim
Many of you know who have studied with me that I love American Jewish history, especially colonial Jewish history. For we Jews were a presence in the colonies from the very beginning. There were over 5,000 Jews living in the newly born United States of America. Though our rituals and customs were foreign to those who were born here, our founding fathers had really never seen Jewish ritual. And yet, slowly, as they began to encounter these early American Jews and engage these neighbors, they recognized the values that the Jewish community would bring to these shores. They even noticed the beauty of our rituals and its ethical underpinnings. So I wanted to begin with a reading by Dr. Benjamin Rush, a signer of the Declaration of Independence. And I've asked Rabbi Sherman to show the slide. But Benjamin Rush attended a wedding and was so intrigued by this Jewish wedding that he actually wrote in his diary, and I quote, "The ceremony began with prayers in Hebrew, chanted by an old rabbi. A small piece of parchment was produced, written in Hebrew, referring to the ketubah, followed by the erection of a beautiful canopy of white and red silk. The bride, accompanied with a long train of female relatives, came downstairs, her face covered with a veil, which reached halfway down her body. The bridegroom entered, and the rabbi now began to chant in Hebrew, giving the groom and bride a glass full of wine, and they each sipped from it." Rush continues to describe the Jewish wedding all the way to the breaking of the glass, and then continues in awe, amazement, wonder, and a great appreciation. And this Jewish community learned that they had arrived to a place called home. And so we continue with the words of Ashrei. Hebrew, which says, "Happy are those who dwell in your house. May they praise you." This became the house where we would learn to prosper.
Try that with me from your home. Ashrei Yoshvei Beitecha. Oh, yeah, hallelujah. Oh, yeah, hallelujah. One more time. Ashrei Yoshvei Beitecha. Oh, yeah, hallelujah. Oh, yeah, hallelujah.
The year was 1790, and the Jewish congregation in Newport, Rhode Island, sent a now famous letter to the newly inaugurated president, General George Washington. To their surprise, they received a letter in response. I share the last verse of this letter from General Washington to the Jewish people, which reads, "May the children of the stock of Abraham who dwell in this land continue to merit and enjoy the goodwill of the other inhabitants, while everyone shall sit in safety under his own vine and fig tree, and there shall be none to make him afraid. May the Father of all mercies scatter light and not darkness in our paths, and make us all in our several vocations useful here, and in his own due time and way, everlastingly happy."
Oh, beautiful for
Jews continued to come to these shores throughout the 19th century. From 1880 to 1920, many of our ancestors came to America. Millions of Jews arrived seeking new opportunities, new freedoms, being told the streets were paved with gold. They arrived to this land of liberty and realized that America, like all other countries, had her own problems. Its promise was yet to come. Many Jews settled in the Lower East Side, gathered close together in tenements. It was actually the densest place on earth, the most densely populated city in the world. The Cairo, the Mumbai of those days. Our ancestors lived within those apartments, despite confronting difficult conditions, dedicating themselves to shaping America by getting involved in the life of this country in music and art and theater and comedy, and certainly in politics, education, civics, with their ancient story of marching from slavery to freedom to justice, inspiring others of all races and religions, all seeking a better day.
Lift every voice and sing till
That song, as many of you know, was written in 1900 by James Weldon Johnson, later set to music by his brother, and performed for Abraham Lincoln's birthday in 1905, and ultimately dubbed by the NAACP as the Black National Anthem. And since that time, as you know, Blacks and Jews have worked together, fighting for justice, something that we must remember and continue this very day, to continue to adhere to our people's ancient call to fight for justice, just as we've done through the centuries of world history and the decades of the history of this great land. And so we continue together with a song that is familiar to many of you. We hope you'll join us this call to justice. Tzedek, tzedek, justice, justice shall be pursued.
I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning, I'd hammer in the evening, all over this land. I'd hammer out danger, I'd hammer out a warning, I'd hammer out love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land. Ooh, if I had a bell, I'd ring it in the morning, I'd ring it in the evening, all over this land. I'd ring out danger, I'd ring out a warning, I'd ring out love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land. Ooh, if I had a song, I'd sing it in the morning, I'd sing it in the evening, all over this land. I'd sing out danger, I'd sing out a warning, I would sing out love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land. Ooh, well, I've got a hammer, and I've got a bell, and I've got a song to sing all over this land. It's a hammer of justice, it's a bell of freedom, it's a song about love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land.
So may we work for the day when all will be at peace.
Rabbi
Let there be
Sapphire, we
love.
can't hear you. They can hear you. Good.
Let there be love. Let's join together.
Exactly.
I believe that was our cue, Victor. Please join us at home. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storm. That there be love and understanding among us, that peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
We Jews are a people of hope. And so let history be our guide. Let us walk forward. Tomorrow, look, I know that there is a lot of anxiety and nervousness about what tomorrow will bring, what the next few days will bring, what the next few weeks will bring, perhaps what even the next few months will bring. But let history be our guide and let us walk forward with goodness. Tomorrow, if you see people waiting in line to vote, bring them milk and cookies. Call a friend, support a cause, write a check, make America a kinder place. Bring compassion to this world. And most importantly, let us walk forward as our people have always done. Very often we sing this song. It is known in Israel, it is known here, it is known in all of the Jewish world. Kol ha'olam kulo, the world is a narrow bridge, but let us never be afraid. Let us take one step forward, one step at a time, unafraid.
Kol ha'olam kulo, gesher tsar me'od, gesher tsar me'od, gesher tsar me'od. Kol ha'olam kulo, gesher tsar me'od, gesher tsar me'od. V'ha'ikar, v'ha'ikar, lo לפחד, לא לפחד לה, והעיקר, והעיקר, לא לפחד כלל. והעיקר, והעיקר, לא לפחד, לא לפחד כלל. והעיקר, והעיקר, לא לפחד כל העולם גשר צר מאוד, גשר צר מאוד, גשר צר מאוד, כל העולם כולו גשר צר מאוד, גשר צר מאוד.
So, As I mentioned earlier, a lot of people have come up to me these last several days, anxious and concerned, some telling me they're not able to sleep. So I want to share with you, I see my mother is on our Zoom call this evening. And as I looked at her, I remember she always reminded me that I would sleep better if she would tell me about tomorrow. Late at night, I would say, tell me about tomorrow, and it would allow me to sleep. So I want to tell you about tomorrow. This is my hope. If you haven't voted, I hope you will vote, even if you have to wait in line. Then, after you vote, we're going to watch and pray and dedicate ourselves to the health of this nation. And then the evening will come, and I hope you will not watch the returns all evening. There are too many better things to do. Cook a meal for a person in need, call a family member or friends, meditate on how you can be a better person. Ultimately, I think all of these things are better than knowing the names of every county in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And yet, I know that many of you will watch late into the evening. And as you do, I hope you'll pay attention to your inner self and begin to ask the question, what drives this desire to consume more and more news and then keep on watching? And understand the choices we make and why. And then I hope you'll create a healthy balance between being informed and being connected to who we are and what we hope will be. And there's a very fine line between that balance. A need to be informed and a need to be connected to the best that we can be. And so with that in mind, let's rise if you're able, and we'll conclude together with the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Please remember your clergy are here for you during these days. Your community is here for you. We look forward to seeing you soon in study and in prayer. May God bless America. Have a good evening. Have a good day tomorrow, everybody. Bye-bye.